So today we're going to talk about wheel width and tire width and the relationship to those two when you're off-roading. And let's get started. So when you're looking for a tire, and you're looking probably for a 12-inch tire or something like that, on the width, you got to think of your rim width at the same time, because your air pressure in your tire is related to how much pressure you're going to get on that lip, on that rim. So when you're airing your tire down, when you're off-roading to 18 psi, your rim, the tire to your rim doesn't pop off when you hit that one rock. So that's why you need a certain amount of percentage of rim width to percentage of the tire width itself. And the golden rule is 70%. 70 to 75% is kind of like the rule, but I like to lean towards the 70% area. So when you're thinking of that, a 12-inch tire, a 12-inch wide tire would have, on a 70% rule, the rim would be 8.5 inches wide. That way your tire width, say this is your tire width, and your rim width is tucked in just a little bit, 70%. That way when you're airing down, the lip of the rim isn't gonna let your tire just pop off the bead. It's gonna have a little bit of a pull force to it. So like I said, general rule is 70 to 75% of the tire width. Your rim should be 70% of that width. And another thing about that is your rim protection. So because you're going a small, 8.5 inch rim width compared to the 12-inch tire or 12.5-inch tire, something around there. It's a rough estimate. Because of that, your tire is going to be bulging out, and it's going to help protect your rim from hitting these rocks. It's not going to, there's no complete protection, but it's going to help because the tire is going to bulge out, and it's going to keep your rim more tucked in. So it is going to help. And also there's wear and tear on your tread life, because these tires, you're not driving it all the time off-road, and you're going to be driving these tires on the road a lot. And that's where all your mileage is coming. So when you think of your mileage on your vehicle, you've got to have a certain amount of crown. Like, you can't have a 6-inch wheel rim and a 12-inch width tire, because now your tread on the bottom is going to be bowing up on the sides, and you're going to have a horrible tread pattern on the wear pattern when you're driving down the road. So that's why the 70-75% rule is a good rule for this, because you're not going to wear out the center of your tires and have great tread on the side, no tread in the middle. I just want to say this actually does apply to off-roading only, because you have a higher sidewall, and the 70% gives a good flex into that sidewall. If you have low profile tires, that 70% rule would not apply. It applies only to off-roading tires. Now, when we're talking about wheel selection for your off-road truck, there's a lot of factors with rim size to offset to backspacing. You hear a lot of things about offset, but you don't hear a lot about backspacing, because people think, well, backspacing is offset. And it kind of is, and it kind of isn't. So offset is, if you got your wheel, offset is how much your center line of that wheel is from the center. So if it's on the center of your wheel, that's 0, where your hub is going to bolt to. And if it rolls in, it becomes negative offset. So that's the offset. And the backspacing is the rolling in. That's your backspacing from where the rim is. The reason why backspacing sometimes can be important is you'll know where your offset is, negative or positive, you'll know where that needs to be. But sometimes you need to know where the back spacing is, because you need that from your hub to the inside. You want to make sure that rim is not hitting against your control arms or items like that. So sometimes backspacing is an important number to know. For the difference we're making on a rim, it's not that big of a deal, but sometimes it is. So make sure you know your offset and your backspacing. And I'm going to include a link below that will let you enter your original offset and your rim size, and then you can enter your new, what you want to put on here, offset and your rim size, and it'll actually show you a picture of the before, where your rim's at related to the knuckle and everything else, and where your rim and size would be at related to after. And it's a real good visualization. It shows how many inches or centimeters or millimeters your tires go in and out, and it's just a really great tool for when you're getting ready to buy a new set of rims for your truck. Now, the one subject people don't really know about and they don't talk about is, what is offset going to do to my steering radius? Because I'm now putting offset on there, even wheel spacers, because wheel spacer is an offset. So what is this offset going to do to my turning radius? Well, if you have a pivot point and you create an offset, now this pivot point is going to push into your fender more. So the amount of offset you get out of this, it's going to actually turn your wheel into your fender more. This means that when you're creating an offset and you're turning your wheel will actually come closer to your fender wheelhouse. It depends on how much offset you're putting on that, but just know that the more offset and the more tire poke you get out of your tire and rim combination, it's going to get closer to your wheel well when you turn the tire. So just keep that in mind to minimize it as low as you can how much offset you need to put in there. That way you don't have to chop your cab mounts or trim up your fenders a lot. On a Toyota Tacoma like I got with a 33-inch tire, I got to do some trimming. There's some trimming you got to do, but I already know this, so I'm going to accept it. Well, that's about it for this episode, and please like and subscribe, because you all make this happen, and we will see you next episode.